It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Vikings going up against the Steelers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Again, it's Bell. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Pittsburgh has long prided itself on being a defense-first team, but if you look at the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, it's been their offense that's led them. In 2016, they were 7th overall in total offense, and they can hit you through the air, on the ground. No matter what they do, they're hard to prepare for.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Minnesota head coach Mike Zimmer made his reputation as a defensive coordinator in this league, and that did not change in 2016. His team finished 3rd overall in total defense, and despite many injuries, kept his team in the playoff hunt throughout the season.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Roethlisberger will throw. A screen to Bell. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, It's okay. You guys will cover for me.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They're going to run. Here's Connor. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The left side caught by Diggs. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run the counter with Murray. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Bridgewater. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks, because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Murray's got his first touchdown as a member of the Vikings, signed from Oakland, of course, as the replacement for Adrian Peterson. He had 12 touchdowns as a Raider a year ago.
I thought he had a nice run in Oakland. I mean, they relied on him to be their lead runner. Big shoes to fill now in Minnesota because of who he's replacing in that spot. But they realize what they've got. A guy who can run inside, outside, and catch the ball in the backfield.
And because of who he's replacing in those big shoes to fill, is that daunting or is that a challenge that you want to accept?
I think it's a big challenge for him. And the way that they construct the offense, he'll have his opportunities to reach big numbers.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy, but let's face it.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race, past the 20, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And Diggs has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On first down, Murray. And he's got room. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
You and I both know that you don't really truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray's a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him, upright with some power.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And some space here. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
Bridgewater on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. He's got Floyd out left. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The play clock's running down. Now a first down carry by Bell. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And he rifles one incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Hurry up, let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. A toss to Murray. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Let's go.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. A reminder, coming up tonight, Green Bay visits Atlanta. All sorts of storylines there. A playoff rematch, also the opening of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then on Monday night, the Giants host the Lions.
So the Giants play on Sunday night and Monday night to open the season.
Yeah, 2 under the lights. Flush to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him taking contact and shedding people trying to get him on the ground. That's when he becomes the most elusive.
Yeah, something he honed back at the University of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah, and they didn't get him down in the MAC. It's hard to get him down in the NFL.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got Rodgers. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he whips that one incomplete there. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On third down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him. They haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. Again, it's Murray. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Throw left side on target to Thielen. A good pickup there, a 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Bridgewater. The swing pass caught. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here's Murray. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Back to the ground. This time Cook looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
Let's go.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? They'll go again with Bell. And an alley to run. Bell so light on his feet. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
He was looking for Eli Rogers that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
Let's go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go with Murray again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon.
Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, able to avoid him. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And a tight ball game here, and in these close ones, every drive becomes magnified.
And we don't want to overuse the word critical, but it feels that way as they head out there for this possession. They need to get the ball back and give their offense a chance to get them totally back into this game.
We'll see if the defense can do just that here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position.
And he's not going to get out of the end zone. Murray is taken down for the safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Throw left side complete. It's James. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
What would you have said to me if I told you in pregame that Big Ben and Antonio Brown wouldn't have hooked up until the second half?
I would say that they'd be losing, and they are.
Yeah, they are, and they've got to find a way now to continue to connect and try and get their team back in this game.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Ben to throw again. And James has it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Jesse James, 10 catches, 131 yards in the Steelers' 2 playoff games last year. A more than reliable tight end, a guy who can create big-time plays downfield. But let's face it, partner.
He's got his tight end. That's James. Touchdown, Steelers. Jesse James, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. They juked him, and he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
On third down, here's Bell. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. They'll go for it with Bell. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Well, I'll tell you, this guy's had a monster game on the ground. So if you're going to go for it on 4th and short, it can't be any secret who's going to get the ball. And sure enough, he's going to add to his total here as they pick up the first down.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Let's go.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They run with Murray. Look at the spin. Touchdown, Vikings! Latavius Murray, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Really held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Linval Joseph coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 47 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. They'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had there during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Brown. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And out will come the offense as they take over. And let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping it?
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Here's Bell. And some room to maneuver. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in his zone. Now Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A good pickup there at 22. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
This is Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And avoids the contact by sliding. Scrambling, not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first. Big Ben, with his size, sometimes it still surprises me when he can dance for a first.
He's the preeminent quarterback at taking contact, shedding it, and turning it into a big play. You know what they say about him? It's not the first 3 seconds of the play that you worry about with him. It's the next 3. Takes the hit, and now he creates a big one.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A first down throw for Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bud Dupree able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running in.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Tuitt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Here's Bridgewater to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he finds Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They needed 17, and they got 18. A defensive lapse there, and it's a first down. Bridgewater on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Tuitt in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that is incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And now it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Going deep for Diggs. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Desperation time. Fourth down. Bridgewater. Going up top. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jarius Wright, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Forbath out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Niall Davis. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. A give to Bell. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman, because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
Bridgewater now from the 50. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through him. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. James Harrison in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Forbath will put this one through. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here to tie it. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. So the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency. Got to walk that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. He's back to throw, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
Let's go.
Now Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Steelers are close to finishing off this football game. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Here we go.
Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago